The night the clocks stopped, Elias Verne was awake, listening to the old house breathe. It was not a sound one could describe, easily more a sensation. A pressure in the air, as if the walls themselves remembered things Elias had long tried to forget. The village of Greyhaven lay beneath a shroud of fog, so thick it erased distance and time alike. In Greyhaven, people learned not to ask why the fog came or where it went. It simply existed, like guilt. Elias had returned, after 20 years away, drawn back by a letter written in his own handwriting, dated only 3 days earlier, though he had no memory of writing it. The letter said one thing: the first silence has broken. Come home before the third dot. As Elias moved through the dark corridors, memories surfaced in fragments: his mother standing at the window, counting breaths, his father locking doors that never kept anything out, and the bell in the church tower that rang only when someone died, without leaving a body behind. Greyhaven was a place where disappearances were recorded more carefully than births. The villagers called it tradition. Elias called it fear. He paused at the study door, where dust lay untouched except for a single footprint leading inside. The footprint was fresh. His heart tightened. He lived alone, or he was supposed to. Inside, the desk lamp glowed faintly, illuminating an open journal. Elias recognized the book instantly. It was the journal he had burned at 16, the night his sister Mara vanished. He approached slowly, hands trembling, and read the last line written in ink still wet. You cannot save her the second time either. The clocks began again all at once, chiming 13. Outside, the fog shifted, revealing for a brief moment the church tower. Elias saw a figure standing beside the bell rope, a woman, with dark hair, her face hidden, her posture achingly familiar. When he blinked, she was gone. The first silence had ended, and Greyhaven was awake again, hungry for what it had been denied. Greyhaven changed when morning came, though no one admitted it. Elias noticed the way people avoided reflections, how mirrors in shops were covered with cloth, how children were kept indoors despite the pale sun. The second silence, according to old stories, was the silence of truth, a time when the town could no longer lie to itself. Elias walked the narrow streets, journal tucked under his arm, piecing together memories and clues like shards of broken glass. Every face he passed seemed to recognize him, yet none greeted him by name. At the church, he met Father Calder, who had not aged a day since Elias left. Calder spoke in riddles, as priests in Greyhaven always did. He warned Elias not to ring the bell, not to open the cellar beneath the chapel, and above all, not to look for Mara. Some doors, Calder said softly, are made of people. But Elias had already begun to understand. The journal described rituals disguised as customs, sacrifices hidden within accidents, and a pact the founding families had made to keep Greyhaven untouched by time. The cost was memory. Every generation, someone was chosen to be erased, not killed, but unremembered. Mara had discovered the truth. That was why she vanished. As the second silence deepened, Elias began to hear whispers where there should have been none. His reflection no longer moved when he did. At night, Mara appeared in dreams and sometimes in waking moments, always just out of reach, her mouth forming warnings he could not hear. The fog crept indoors now, seeping through cracks, carrying with it the smell of iron and old paper. The villagers gathered in the square on the 7th day. No announcement was made, but everyone knew it was time to choose again. Elias stepped forward before anyone else could speak. He rang the church bell himself, feeling the sound tear through him like a blade. The second silence shattered, replaced by screams not of fear, but of recognition. The third silence was absolute. No wind, no breath, no thought escaped it. Elias stood alone in the cellar beneath the church, surrounded by names carved into the stone, hundreds of them, layered over centuries. Mara's name was there too, newly carved, bleeding light. She stood before him now, whole and real, her eyes filled with sorrow rather than anger. She told him the truth Greyhaven had buried deepest. The silences were not protections, but thresholds. Each one brought the town closer to forgetting itself entirely. The third silence would erase everything: place, people, history, leaving nothing but fog drifting over an empty valley. The only way to stop it was remembrance, complete and painful. Elias understood what he had to do. He began to speak every name aloud, carving them into his memory as the walls trembled and the fog screamed. With each name, the town above stirred, memories flooding back: lost children, vanished lovers, unspoken crimes. Greyhaven woke into agony. When Elias reached the final name, his own, the silence broke forever. The fog lifted. The clocks stopped, then melted into dust. Greyhaven was gone, replaced by an ordinary town with an extraordinary ache at its heart. Years later, People would sometimes dream of a man standing in the fog, whispering names so they would never be lost again. And somewhere between memory and myth, Elias Verne kept watch, ensuring the third silence would never return.